Yeah, dopest community. We are back. We're back for part four. If y'all haven't seen it, go back and check part one, two, and three. We're on four. We got one more left after this one. Today we're gonna be going over Excelsior, transformations, and mannequins, y'all. I'm digging this album. This album is fire to me, man. I've got a few spins in on it. Y'all let me know in the comments how many times that y'all have listened to this album so far. I feel like it's great. I feel like Mac will be very proud. I feel like Mac is proud knowing that the joint came out the way it did. So let just a little quick rundown. So Excelsior, Latin for the word higher. Mac reminisces on the responsibility free days as a kid before modern day issues inherent the adulthood completely erode that childlike sense of playfulness, innocence, and wonder. So pretty much ignorance is bliss. He's reminiscing on back when he was a child and he didn't have his main responsibilities and all the things that happened in his life didn't happen. So he thinks back to when he was a child and all that stuff. I think we all have reflections of that. I teach that with my kids all the time. So they embrace being children and not being in such a rush to grow up. But yeah, let's get right into this. This track is dope because you got Delusional Thomas up here too. You know, it's fire, man. You got Mac over there just going back and forth with his alter ego. You can hear them both up there. It's dope, man. Salute to all y'all for showing up. Let's get right into Excelsior.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. On 4th Street, the orphan children play on the jungle gym. Little Timmy broke his arm again on the monkey bars. Johnny's dad got a nicer car than all the other kids. He becomes the alpha and picks on everybody else. Max protects Claire from all the bullies. Claire always wished she was as pretty as Julie. The boys always chase Julie round the sandbox. Claire just waits till she gets picked up by her grandpa. All of this before the brainwash starts. Before they get polluted, start thinking like adults. Life is fantasy and somersaults then. Before the world tear apart imagination. Before there were rules, before there were limits. Your only enemies were
Brussels sprouts and spinach.
me. I used to want to be a wizard. When did life get so serious? Whatever happened to apple juice and car wheels?
Whatever happened to apple juice and car wheels?
Abracadabra. Abracadabra.
Salute to Mac, man. And you hear the kids playing on the playground, man. Y'all ever go back and think about when times were as you was a kid? How time was when you was a kid, man. We talk about it all the time, especially us millennials. We're like, hey, man, like these kids today don't know what it feel like, to ride around, like the way you found out where your friends were. You saw all the bikes parked out front, or you saw them outside playing basketball or something like that. It'd be dope, man, because there'll be times, man. I remember like with me and my siblings, like we'll be coming home and everything. My mom be pulling up to the house, and then we look around the corner and we see the homies out there. You know what I'm saying? We see the homies out there playing basketball. And we were going home like, Mom, can you drop us off? You know what I'm saying? She'll go ahead, let us out the car and everything. We go straight over there, and she'll be like, make sure you home before the street lights come on. All right, bet. Mom drove home and everything. Then we go out there and play basketball, maybe play some manhunt or something like that. We just had a good time. Play some football out there. It was just good times, dog. You weren't really thinking about responsibilities and all that shit, man. It's just it's messed up, man, but it's life and we gotta go through it. So like I said, with my kids, I just show them to I just try to do as much as I can to help them embrace their childhood, because I know when they get older, because like I told y'all, one of my sons, he don't even want to grow up, man. He got this thing. Sometimes he be talking like he a baby, and I'm like, yo, man, stop that. Like, I understand, like, but you gotta stop that shit. Kids gonna eat you alive at school. All right, so it starts off on 4th Street. The orphan children play on the jungle gym. This right here is dope too, man, because it's like you look at you look at just the way things are perceived. As a child, you don't look at it this way, but as an adult or a parent, you look at it this way. He's like, little Timmy broke his arm again on the monkey bars. Johnny's dad got a nicer car than all the other kids, you know, but pretty much saying none of that shit matters. And then he's like, he becomes the alpha and picks on everybody else. Max protects Claire from the bullies. Claire always wishes she was pretty as Julie. Like, it's like everybody has something with them. Somebody wants something that someone else has. Or somebody could have a rich parent, but you have a kid over here that parent isn't rich, but they show them more love. But then you got the rich parent, he has the material things, he throws the material things at the child and pretty much raises him with money. So now the kid doesn't really have financial literacy or anything like that. He just gets whatever he wants. But then you have the kid over here, his parents don't have much, but his father and his mother teach him financial literacy because they learned of what, you know what I'm saying? They learn from that, and then they have a better relationship with their child. And then you have the rich kid over here, like, he doesn't have a relationship with his father. He would just rather all the nice things go away and his dad's just there for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not saying this is what the song is, but it's like relative to it. Because everybody got their own problems. Because people think just because kids are rich, they ain't got no problems. But nah, the money a lot of times is used as, the money's used to raise the kid. Whether it's getting like multiple nannies, multiple people to watch your kid. So it's like you don't even see your kid the majority of their life because you're so busy with your career and everything. It's like that kid needs that child. You have all these different people raising the child, but the kid needs like their father and their mom in their life. Like they need that. You know, so then other people end up stepping up to the plate, which could be good or bad, especially if the parents are pieces of shit, then I ain't mad about it. All right, so little Timmy broke his arm again on the monkey bars. Johnny's dad got a nicer car than all the other kids. He becomes the alpha and picks on everyone else. Max protects Claire from the bullies. Claire always wishes she was as pretty as Julie. Boys always chase Julie around the sandbox. Claire just waits till she gets picked up by her grandpa. So obviously, you know, Julie is getting all this attention from the guys and the boys. And Claire's just, she wants to be like Julie, but she just sits there and waits for her grandpa to pick her up. All of this before the brainwash starts, before they get polluted, start thinking like adults. And that's another thing too. If you guys have children, when you just look at how it is, man, it's really trippy when a child is being raised, because when they first come into the world, you look at them like they're so innocent, because they're very innocent. But then when you start seeing them, you know, it gets to the point where they start going to school, or prior to them going to school, they start doing things. You're like, yo, you can't do that. And they're like, why? You know, it's just, I feel like doing this. I have no malice in my heart while I'm doing this. When I'm writing on the walls in the house, there's no malice there. I'm not being disrespectful. I just want to draw. I just want to write. But then we're telling them that it's wrong. I just be thinking about what would life be like if, as a kid, you just grew up and you were just able to do whatever you wanted? Like, would it be, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would it really be opposed to like us controlling kids the way they are, you know, to turn them into things? Because, you know, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like people don't want to hear it, man, but I got both. I had dogs, have a dog, and children. It's like literally like people will have like pit bulls and Rottweilers. People see pit bulls and Rottweilers like, oh, those are vicious dogs. No, they're dogs based on the owner. The owner can make a pit bull or Rottweiler mean or nice, but a lot of people like to make them mean, and the people that make them nice is overshadowed. Not saying kids are like dogs, but it's the influence. The influence is the same. Like the way the exercise and practices, because even people look at dogs and they look at those are my kids, you know what I'm saying? They're not too far off. Of course, a kid is way more responsibilities than a dog, but it's like the dog is like the baseline, but it's still the same type of thing in a sense. You know, if you have both, y'all know what I'm talking about. If you don't have both, if you just got kids, you think I'm tripping. If you just have a dog, you might be able to see what I'm saying. If you got both, you know exactly what I'm saying. All right, so if you raise your dog right, I should say. My bad, y'all, but I got off subject. But yeah, so all this before the brainwash starts, before they get polluted, start thinking like adults. Life is a fantasy and somersaults then, before the world tear apart imagination. So pretty much, you know, everything you see, you know, especially when you're kids, you be like, yo, man, I'm about to run errands. In your mind, you're about to run errands. You're about to go to the store. You're about to do what you got to do, pay some bills. You take your kids with you. In their mind, it's an imagination. It's a vacation. It's an imagination. Like, oh, we're going to vacation. We're going here. We're going here. They go to Target. They see all this cool stuff. You go to Target. You see what you're looking for. It's their outlook on things because their brain isn't thinking like yours. They're not thinking about the money. They're not thinking about the financial standpoint. You know, they're thinking about just having fun as a kid. They're having an experience, you know. Before there were rules, before there were limits, the only enemies were want some Brussels sprouts and spinach. Your only enemies were your vegetables. That's the thing. Oh, I can't stand it. Oh, I hate my vegetables. That was your biggest worry right there, man. I even told my kids today, like this morning, I was like, yo, man, because I was over there like having some caffeine. And my kid was like, oh, I want some. I was like, no, you don't need none, man. You run off of energy. You got more energy than you even know. And they're like, well, I want some. I was like, bro, the only thing you have to worry about is your schoolwork and having fun. That's literally it. You know what I'm saying? And whatever you decide you want to do in life, and let us know so we could like support that. Me, I used to want to be a wizard. When did life get so serious? You know, so Mac Miller obviously wanted to be a wizard. Whatever happened to apple juice and cartwheels? You know, something simple like that. Kids get everything out of that. Whatever happened to apple juice and cartwheels? And then he's like abracadabra, like you know what I'm saying, make it disappear. That joint is wild to me, man. Salute to Mac. So that was Excelsior. So next track we have is Transformations, man. See what's popping with it. Another fire track from Mac. Like I said, man, I can't say enough. I can't keep saying another fire track for this whole album is fire. Let's get it.
Just kidding. Everything when I do my features, man, it's gotta be fucking crazy, bro. This place gotta be right, bro. Can't come up crazy, man. These features for the hip hop world, like, they take that shit seriously, bro. It's really just on clocks.
Alright, told me what you need to do.
I'm a love, so I gotta come back. I mean, when you're dealing with DJ Clockwork, you're dealing with someone that A, knows his hip hop.
He knows his hip hop. He, he's a student of the game, and he treats his bars like a, good cousin. Don't say. Alright,
There's a beer up there.
There's a beer in the fridge. There's a... Grab the Tecate and the Pacifico, because one's a bottle and one's a can. I don't know how much I'm trying to go in. Thank you, bro. Yeah. Okay, so... Alright, psychopathic thinker, hyperactive drinker. Blew my shit up with a thumb up like Henry Winkler. My bitch like a cane cover, put it in her sphincter. The bitch like a bad fart.
All she do is linger.
What? Oh, let me try that again. Okay, like I was saying.
Alright.
Said,
I'm a psychopathic thinker, hyperactive drinker. I blew my shit up with a thumb up like Henry Winkler. My bitch like a cane cover, put it in her sphincter. Your bitch like a bad fart.
All she do is linger.
Shit, I should have been a singer. I should have been Kurt Schilling. Would have had a sinker. Ahead of y'all chilling. You're looking in my blinkers. Rappers are some bumblebees pulling out your stingers. Yeah, I'm getting high, smoking weed again.
Leave for the lows.
For the medium. Couple of my homies were on CNN. I changed the channel once they went into commercial. Yeah, delusional Waldo Emerson. Just like you, I love football and lesbians. Never deal with bitches, cause bitches are some thespians. Save the drama for your motherfucking mama. Oh Jesus, who's a rapper with the gold penis? Put away your money, scrub. I ain't doing no features. Say your motherfucking drill, bitch, I'm young Jehovah. In the backyard with pads on, running Oklahomas. Get low.
Good old Delusional Thomas. Yeah, Transformations. So that right there, man, if you guys aren't familiar with Delusional Thomas, that's like Mac Miller's alter ego and everything. And you could hear like Mac's regular voice and like Delusional Thomas, you could hear like, the alter ego, like especially in that part when he was there was a part when you heard them both. Like it's kind of like he stumbled over himself a little bit. Yeah, when he's let me get it. Let me try again. Like you could hear him going back and forth with like Mac Miller and Delusional Thomas. So this one, and then the intro as well. The intro is dope too. So, in Transformation, we get a live listen into the mind of Mac Miller in his legendary 2013-14 Sanctuary era, for which Mac was known to have not only honed his production skills as Larry Fisherman, but opened to the door of other aliases such as Delusional Thomas. Delusional Thomas was an alter ego of Mac's that he began developing into a character around 2012-2013. Although not initially named by Mac, the high pitched voice could be heard in intros to Mac's sophomore album, Watching Movies with the Sound Off. Now, the thing about that, too, man, like, if you guys are Mac Miller fans, that voice right there, like, I remember before that was called Delusional Thomas. Like, that voice right there, like, it hasn't always been, that name has not always been there. Mac just would, like, do that sometimes. But it's dope that he came up with a name for it. So now we know how to, like, identify it. Symbolizing the voice of Mac in Mac's head. So that's what it is. Initially conceptualizing the character as a devil on your shoulder type, Mac ultimately used this concept to turn the voice into a demonic evil character who wrapped around darker, more expletive content that may not appeal to some Mac fans. Doubling down on this concept, Mac will go on to release his horrorcore mixtape Delusional Thomas on Halloween of 2013 using the pitched up Delusional Thomas moniker. Mac can be heard fusing with Delusional Thomas on the tape's outro. Grandpa used to carry a flask on which he officially credited himself, Mac Miller, as a feature. Now that right there too, if you guys are familiar with the channel, when we started this channel up, we were doing a lot of Delusional Thomas reactions. And I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I watch some of the reactions now and they're cringeworthy because I was trying to figure out this reaction space. I was trying to figure out YouTube. So watching the videos now, man, y'all should go watch them. I'm gonna put the Mac Miller playlist, the reaction playlist up here. The sound is off. The camera, is it as good as this one? It is the same camera. I just didn't know about lighting and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so the dopest community put me on to Delusional Thomas. Salute to the homie Legits, man. He's the one. Grandpa used to carry a flask, I believe, was the first reaction on this channel. So that's the reason why this album and everything else is so important to me, man. Especially being a heavy Mac fan. What do you say? Shortly after the development of Delusional Thomas, the mixtape, the character could be found in anything Mac touched inside his sanctuary studio, including vocal appearances throughout Mac's Magnus Opus mixtape faces, such as the track Angel Dust. Please don't fuck with the Angel Dust. We hear Delusional Thomas and briefly for Mac, and even an official feature on Absol's 2014 These Days, which also salute to Absol as well, man. That Soul Burger album is fire, fire, and so is Herbert as well. Salute to Ab. Solo Ho, which was also largely recorded in the Sanctuary around this time. Although Mac has mostly steered away from officially using Delusional Thomas moniker by 2015, when he signed to his first major label and ultimately moved away from that Sanctuary. Fans often debate whether his voice can still be heard on later works of his. Salute to Delusional Thomas. So, and this whole thing in the beginning when he's talking about, I'm just kidding, everything ready, man, and he's talking about like his, he's talking about his engineer, Josh. So he's like, in the transformations, we hear Mac speaking on his engineer, Josh Berg, about how DJ Clockwork, Mac's DJ, also rapped alongside Mac Miller a few times, asked Mac to do a feature on a song of his. However, Clock asked if Mac would deliver his feature as Delusional Thomas. Mac's horrorcore alter ego that he developed around this time, since Clock was no slouch in his keenness of hip hop, Mac wants to deliver Clock a good verse, and he deserves. Josh seemingly grabs a drink during the story and offers one to Mac. The title of the track comes into play shortly after when Mac transforms into Delusional Thomas and begins his freestyle. So that's where it all comes from, man. I did not know all that. I didn't know all that went into transformation. So I guess this is him turning into Delusional Thomas. So he's like, all right, psychopath thinker, hyperactive drinker, blew my shit up with the thumb like Henry Winker. Like that right there, the thumb up. That right there. Delusional Thomas comes back full circle with his dangerous and self-destructive side. So that's what he's talking about. And he's like, blew up my shit with a thumb like Henry Winkler. He's saying Henry Winkler is an American actor who is widely known for his role as the Fonzie, 70s sitcom Happy Days, who would often pose with his thumbs up. Or around the early times of Mac Miller's career beginning, the takeoff, he had started the movement called Most Dope. Exactly. While not only serving as the name of his team, Mac saw it as a lifestyle, and the emblem of the lifestyle was also a simple thumbs up. So I was the Most Dope, man. It's all over kids. You see him doing it all the time on kids and all the tracks on kids with videos and all that. Yeah, so he's like, my bitch is like a king. He's like, my bitch is like a king cover, put in the sphincter My bitch is like a bad fart. All she do is linger. So that's when he went back. He's like, let me get it back. Let me get it back. Then he continues rapping. He's like, I should have been Kurt Schilling. Would have had a sinker. And then he's talking about Kurt Schilling, the baseball player, and everything. And then he's like, and of course we talking about what? And then didn't he play for? Yeah, he played for the Phillies and everything. Still, Pennsylvania, and we all know Mac Miller's from Pittsburgh. Ahead of chilling, you looking like my blinkers. Rappers just some bumblebees pulling out your stingers. Y'all ain't shit. I'm pulling out your stingers and everything. Yeah, I'm getting high, smoking weed again, and the lean for the lows. For the medium. Couple of my homies were on CNN. I changed the channel once they went into the commercials. Yeah, delusional Waldo Emerson. So delusional times delusional Waldo. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Emerson was a 19th century philosopher and writer who helped find the transcendentalist movement. I think that's how you say it. Transcendentalist movement in the 1850s. Around his time in his career, Mac was trying with Rick Rubin. Wow, that's crazy. And taught Mac about oh wow, I did not know that about meditation. Oh, so he learned how to meditate with Rick Rubin and everything. That's dope, man. That's fire. Yeah, just like you, I love football and lesbians. Never deal with bitches because bitches are some thespians. Save the drama for your motherfucking mama. He's like, oh Jesus, who's the rapper with the gold penis? Put away your money, scrub. I ain't doing no features. This ain't no motherfucking drill, bitch. I'm young Jehovah in the backyard with pads on, running Oklahoma's. Get low. So obviously playing for Oklahoma, got the pads on. He's running back status. Yeah, so that right there was transformations, y'all. Let's get into the next track, Mannequins, and see what's popping with it, y'all. Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, Mannequins is my shit, man. I'm still trying to learn the album titles and everything because I just let the album play. But yeah, let's get it.
Yeah. Well, my good days are exactly like the bad ones. My bitch say that I defy the laws of attraction. I've always been terrified of ending up normal. Things that we all search for end up finding us. God is like the school bell, he gon' tell you when your time is up. Shit just end up working out. Why do we wonder why it does? Yeah, so I asked God to take me on a perfect day. Swear I saw him crying, don't know why everyone's sure it's rain. Education system, but I feel we only learn from change. Every time I think about it, shit starts to hurt my brain. Problems we can't solve always seem to be my favorite ones. Life just gets so boring, playing superhero makes it fun. But why is heroism so close to heroin? And suddenly you do. Scared you're gonna wake up as someone who isn't you. We've all been down that road before, poured alcohol on open sores. Nobody can hurt me if I go inside and close the door. Not scared of growing old and dying, feel this where the answer lives. You wear the garments, everybody needs to dress the mannequins.
crazy, man. Like this album was really ahead of its time for real. Like during the time he was making Faces, he made this album and everything. My bad, y'all. I'm looking at my kids outside. It's snowing out here. They're playing in the snow and everything. But yeah, like this song right here, this one gave me chills too when I heard it. And just like, just the oh I'm dying, I'm dead, and then like, with Dylan Reynolds, it's like you got both of them in the chorus, and for the end of the chorus, it's just Dylan Reynolds, like Mac has left the building type deal. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So Mannequin is about no matter what you do, God is always watching and by your side. That is why Mac is talking about God in this song. Every time Mac is doing something bad, he gets the feeling that he's going to die as if God's talking to him. That's wild, man. So, the first verse, he's like, Mac's like, well, my good days are exactly like the bad ones. My bitch say I defy the laws of attraction. I've always been terrified of ending up normal. Things that we search for always end up finding us. Like, you know what I'm saying? That right there is crazy. You searching for certain things that end up popping up on you. And he's saying my good days are exactly like my bad ones, so it's like I get no peace. And he's like, God is like the school bell. He gonna tell you when your time's up. That right there, like that right there is crazy. Obviously, God lets you know when it's time to die. He lets you know. Shit just ends up working out. Why do we wonder why it does? Yeah, so I asked God to make me to make me on a perfect day. I swear I saw him crying. Don't know why everybody thinks it's rain. Like that right there is crazy. Yeah, I asked God to take me on a perfect day. I saw him. I swear I saw him crying. I don't know why everybody thinks it's rain. So pretty much saying that the rain that falls from the sky is God crying is referring to the myth that when God cries, it starts raining. Says the education system. He was like the education system, but I feel like we learn from change. That right there is real. When things change up, that's how we learn. We make mistakes, that's how we learn. And he's talking about like the education system. A frequently brought up discussion within music and the general public that the education system could be better, and that there are always criticism of the way it operates, inferring that it requires change and sometimes a life change to influence real growth. The education in the youth, sometimes maturing as a person, can be more beneficial than sitting in a test-based class. Sounds very familiar to a track he recorded, released around the same time his mixtape Faces, titled Friends. Yeah. I know the planet Earth is about to explode. Kinda hope that no one saves it. We only grow from anguish. That right there is real. So you learn from change and things happen. And that's what I'm saying. Like people argue and say that school is like, sitting down taking tests. It's like they're trying to teach you to become a worker, not become your own boss, not to become an entrepreneur. Like they're saying that class like the education system teaches you how to be a worker. I feel like I feel like that is true, but then I feel like it also teaches you things that just to stay focused. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. That's why my kids I tell them to stay focused, because growing up I didn't get the best grades. I was always good in English. English, I don't give a damn what I did. My English grades were always high. Even when I had nothing but bad grades, my English grade was the one that was actually good. So stuff like that. So it's like, just because you don't do good in school doesn't mean that you're not going to do good in life. Some people aren't good test takers. You got people out here that are famous, loving doing what they do, making millions of dollars doing what they do, and they don't even feel like work, and they got good spirits, and they still got their soul, and they didn't get the best grades. And they got people with the best grades that are out here struggling, so it's like it's hard to have school dictate things like that. But of course, like, you want your kids to pass their grades and everything, so you can kind of figure out what they're into. That's why I like with mine. I like the different subjects that they're in. I like to see which one they gravitate towards most. Because whichever one they gravitate towards most, I'm gonna see if they're passionate about it or if they're just doing it to pass. You know what I mean? So just to see, like, do you really like math? Do you really like English? Do you really like science? Stuff like that. Um, I feel like we only learn from change. Every time I think about it, shit starts to hurt my brain. Problems we can't solve always be my favorite ones. That right there is crazy. Problems we can't solve always be my favorite ones. Like when you can't solve your problem, it's like, damn, just the thought of what if, what if, what if, what if, what if is interesting. Life just gets so boring. Playing superhero makes it fun. But why is heroism so close to heroin? Obviously, like, you become, you know what I'm saying? Like you take a trip, like it's fun. Heroin is fun. It's a drug, stuff like that. He's like, in a line similar to the song 100 Grandkids, released off 2015, Good AM. I love that. Back when couldn't tell me nothing. Back then they used to call me little. Now I'm riding something clean in the coat made of armadillo. That's my shit. Where Mac rapped, I put a hero. Yeah, he was like, I put the hero in heroin. These over these flows. Yeah, that shit. Back when I first made 100 grand, thought I was a king. What do you say? We are, my bad, I'm thinking about 100 grandkids. We are what we believe in. There's no such thing as freedom, but what can we do? What can we do? Because I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like I'm dying. So that's like, Dylan Ross and Mac Miller. So Mac Miller comes with verse 2. He's like, they tell you need to sleep and suddenly you do. Scared you're going to wake up someone who isn't you. We've all been down that road before, poured alcohol on open stores. So he's saying, Mac is saying that he feels like the person that he is when he is miserable and staying up all night and thinking more is more him than when he is happy and healthy. This is sentiment echo. This is a sentiment echoed by many troubled minds, including Van Gogh and the philosopher Søren Kierkegaard. And he's like, we all been down that road before, poured alcohol in open sores. Mac equates the perceived emotion healing of drinking alcohol to the healing properties of alcohol and common disinfectant. It's worth noting that pouring alcohol on an open sore is very painful, the same way that drinking alcohol to cope with emotional pain is difficult as well. It's a crazy correlation right there, man, but it's true. Nobody can hurt me if I go inside and close the door. Not scared of growing old or dying. Feel this where the answer lives. So he's not scared of growing old. Mac used to embrace growing old, man. He wanted to grow old. It's crazy because he was talking about dying young. It's almost like you can see the fight within him. Like it's like he thinks he thought he was gonna die young, and then he embraced like growing old. And I don't know if he embraced growing old because he felt like he wasn't gonna make it there, stuff like that. So Mac Miller loved old people, man. He was like they got the most to learn. Because when they was having that interview when they were in the park and you saw those old people over there and he was talking about them, he's like, yeah, he's like, they're over there just chilling. He's like, they seen everything. They're not in a rush for anything. They got time to sit back and just enjoy life now because they already know what the world has to offer. They seen it all. And I was like, man, that's a crazy way to look at it, but you're right. Not scared of growing old and dying. Feel this is where the answer lives. You wear the garments, everybody needs to dress some mannequins. You wear the garments, everybody needs to dress some mannequins. And then you got Dylan Ross again, and he's like, we are what we believe in, but there's no such thing as dreaming. But what can we do? What can we do? Because I see light at the end of the tunnel. It feels like I'm dying. I'm dead. That's wild right there, man. So that right there was mannequins, y'all. Those were the 3 for today, man. Well, for this video, I'm not sure if I'm gonna drop it the next day or not. I'm not sure. I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how these videos get released and everything. I appreciate everybody watching them and people showing back up to the channel, the day ones, man. Salute you guys. Y'all the real MVPs, man. So the next video we're gonna have Rick's piano, and Tomorrow Will Never Come to conclude the album, man. Like, this is so special to me. I'm so glad we got this reaction on the channel, letting you guys know I didn't forget about you. I know the album came out like last Friday and everything. I've been spinning it, and like I said, I've been real busy, but I'm glad I finally have time to sit down with you guys so we can go over this and talk about it, man. See y'all on the next one. Protect your peace with your peace. Stay away from negativity and naysayers, and y'all be safe out there. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.